Some people who want to end sexism think that women should have different organizations, a separate organization. They think women have to get their act together and women have to organize women first and then they can bring men into the struggle. It's somewhat like a two-stage theory of fighting sexism. We in PL think that's not a winning strategy to fight sexism. One of the main reasons is that for those of us who have the goal of reorganizing society and wanting to and organizing for a communist revolution, it's not going to work if we're separate. We need the energy and the numbers of men and women united together fighting back for what we need. And it's about developing leadership of women alongside with men. And in order to fight sexism, men have to accept that women can be leaders. There's a personal story I wanted to share, basically about how the society might look like under communism and trying to deal with fighting sexism. There were a couple of comrades in our organization that were married and were having some marital problems, and the husband was unemployed. And what happened is that he internalized his anger and externalized it against his spouse and by hitting. Basically, family members were called in and people talked, and then also our party was called in, our comrades came in, and the nice thing about that is that it was a group of men and women trying to talk and struggle with our comrade. This couple came back around and got back together because they obviously loved each other and they loved the party too, and they wanted to build a new society. And after a while, after this person stood back, they stood back to realize what was happening, that it was the pressures of capitalism that had created the stress where you'd want to turn your anger towards your family, and the person realized this was not the right thing to do, and they wanted to rebuild their relationship on respect and love, and they're still together. So I think that's a good thing, and I think these are the kinds of things that we would want, I think, to have happen, where we have like an extended family under communism. It's not just your problem, and other people are concerned. What you say and what you do concerns everybody, and we all try to help each other, and I think that's a good thing. So we as communists really feel that if we really want to make a difference, if we really want to end sexism, we have to fight capitalism, we have to get rid of it, and we have to replace it with an egalitarian communist society, and we need a revolution to do that because the bosses aren't going to give up. They're not going to give up their stuff and walk away from it, so we have to fight back and take what's rightfully ours and ensure that everyone, every man, woman, and child is treated with respect and has what they need under the system, under the new system.
I think it's a very important point, and I think it's a direct parallel between nationalism and racism. On this campus, it's mostly a predominantly black campus, and there's a lot of nationalism, and people always make that argument. We can't do anything till we get ourselves together, and we got to get ourselves together. Well, we never get ourselves together because we're not just one monolithic group. There's a lot of different cultures and a lot of different backgrounds and histories in the group that is designated as African American or Negro or black. Same thing with females. They're not all in one class. They span all the classes, and you'll never get them all together because rich white women are not going to be associating themselves with poor black women, and et cetera. And so it's the same thing. You cannot put out the fire with fire. You need to put it out with water. And the water for racism is anti-racism, and the water for sexism is anti-sexism. And so what we need to do is, like what we do against racism, we try to break down that. We have to break down sexism. And so if you have a organization that's divided into men and women, by its very nature, it has to be sexist because you're condemning the other sex by saying they're not good enough to be in this group.
I just wanted to pick up on what the other comrade was saying about identity politics, like women versus men, black versus white, Mexican versus Puerto Rican, whatever. I mean, you can go on and on and on with that stuff, and it's such a loser for the working class, whatever form it takes, and it obscures, the real class divisions of working class versus capitalist class. And so the fight for communism and the establishment of communism will make that clear, and will be a time when the working class takes power away from the capitalist class. And one aspect of communism that's different than socialism is that communism says that we all contribute according to our ability, and then we receive according to our need, as opposed to socialism, which says we receive according to our work, how much work we do. So if you think about that in relation to sexism, I mean, I think for a while probably it's still going to be women getting pregnant, right? Like I don't think we gotta work on it. So okay, so while they're pregnant, it's going to be. I mean, my daughter-in-law is throwing up every day. I mean, you know, she can't go to work. I mean, every woman is not like that, but, you know, there are physical things that happen to you during labor, childbirth, delivery, whatever, where you might not be able to work. And so by having a society where it's from each according to ability, I think that lays the basis for getting rid of sexism.
I think capitalism is the main thing that causes all this stuff. It causes why we have to have psychology, because you know, you refer to it as being schizophrenic. It's schizophrenic and crazy and destructive, and we got to get rid of it. And I hope this video will help, you know, because I think the main thing is we have to smash capitalism and fight for communist revolution, and we need a party to do it. We all did good, and good night.
The revolution take time and space, but you as a woman gotta know your place. That's in the front, baby. I'm being blunt, baby. The revolution take time and space, but you as a woman gotta know your place. That's in the front, baby. I'm being blunt, baby. The revolution take time and space, but you as a woman gotta know your place. That's in the front, baby. I'm being blunt, baby. The revolution take time and space, but you as a woman gotta know your place. That's in the front, baby.